bear with me on that a little bit. Before I start on the topic, I want to address something real quick. And I just want to say that for those who have seen certain negative things about me and my comrades or whatnot, as you can see that those things have been taken down by the person that posted it. For those who know me personally and didn't even have the diligence or the decency to address me about it, I want to just say shame on you. You know, for those who did have my back, I want to say I appreciate the love. Much appreciated. And for those who are wondering why I didn't respond to these particular things, it was because there was no need for me to respond, because I knew the truth was going to come out anyway, for one. For two, it would have only added more negativity and pain to the situation. And since the person that was posting these things is somebody I care about, I'm not going to take Facebook over my real life. So there was really no need for me to address these things because, like I said, I knew the truth would come out. So as you've seen, these things have been taken down, and you should see an apology or a statement of clarification come next. So that's all I really want to say about that. Like I said, I appreciate those who did have the decency to reach out, and I appreciate those that, didn't believe the hype. And like I said, I knew the truth would come out anyway, so I really didn't feel like I had to address it. But anyway, let's get to this Colin Kaepernick and this NFL situation and the slave mentality. LiberationMindedMedia.net, you already know. Make sure you check out Black Power Radio later today, and make sure you also check out My Skin Is My Sin Thursday. And just check out Liberation Minded Media, period. So anyway, let me go ahead and go into this, and shout out to everybody that's watching. Let me just get into this Colin Kaepernick situation. I'm going to tell you how I personally feel about Colin Kaepernick. All right? So I know Colin Kaepernick as a football player when he played for the San Francisco 49ers. And he came up around the same time the Seahawks started beasting and Russell Wilson started beasting. So, when we play Madden online and stuff, I'd always take the Seahawks, some from the town, and some people would take Frisco. And if somebody took the Seahawks before me, I would take Frisco. My point is this. The only thing I ever expected out of Colin Kaepernick was to be a good football player. The reason why I know him is from running touchdowns and throwing touchdowns. That's how I know Colin Kaepernick. That's how y'all know Colin Kaepernick. So what I'm saying is I never expected that Colin Kaepernick or his movement when he was kneeling or sitting on the bench, I never expected that was going to free black people. I didn't expect that. So anything further than playing football, especially if it has to do with being conscious of what's going on and shedding light to things that we've been speaking about, that was just a bonus to me. Because the only thing I expect out of Colin Kaepernick was to play football. And the cold part is, our people was not mad at Colin Kaepernick when he was on the plantation running for master on the football field. He was black enough for you then. You was cheering him on then. Now all of a sudden he starts speaking on the same topics we've been speaking on. He starts shedding light on things we've been trying to shed light on. And he's doing it at a bigger level because he has a bigger platform. And all of a sudden he's not black enough. All of a sudden, he's not going to save us. So, are we really thinking that these celebrities are going to save us? Are we really thinking that, a football player or somebody who may just be speaking on our behalf has the capacity to save us? Do we still have that slave mentality? Because Muhammad Ali also spoke on issues in the prime of his career. He also sacrificed his career. It didn't save us. We respect him because he did more than he needed to do. He did more than we should have ever expected him to do, and he sacrificed his career for the people. And don't you think that there were people like us, our own people at that time, who were probably slandering him for saying he's not going to accept the draft? Anytime somebody comes that speaks on our behalf, it's not just enemies. It's not just the oppressors that are going to slander him. It's going to be our own people. And that's the shame. We expect more out of a Colin Kaepernick than we expect out of ourselves. So it's just crazy to me. It's a slave mentality. It lets me know that you really are still looking for this one Jesus type prototype Messiah when you say things like Colin Kaepernick won't save us and kneeling won't save us, and you're mad because he inked the deal with Nike. But let me tell you something real quick, because I know a lot of y'all got little shitty ass jobs working at warehouses. You got your little shitty ass job as a customer service rep for flipping burgers or whatever. I'm not insulting you. I'm not shading you for having a job. What I'm saying is I know on your job You face racism every goddamn day. Yet how many of y'all have sacrificed those little shitty jobs that are easily replaceable, these $10, $15, $20 an hour jobs that you may have? How many of y'all have sacrificed that to stand up against your boss for blatant racism? How many of y'all have done that? Because he sacrificed a job. There's only 32 jobs like his in the world. He sacrificed that. He sacrificed millions of dollars. He sacrificed his character because people are character assassinating him. He sacrificed these things just to bring light to something because he knew that with his platform, he could bring more light than all of us that are trying to bring light to it with our social media. So he sacrificed that. He said that this issue was bigger than his NFL job. That's what he said. That's what he did. He sacrificed that. So I have to respect that. And I never expected anything more than him to play football. So this is just a bonus that he did that. And this is how we should be thinking about it. So yeah, he inks a Nike deal like he wasn't supposed to take some money from Nike. We know that Nike is just about the money. It's a corporation. That's what we should expect. However, I do understand the sentiment of some of those who are now buying Nikes and rocking Nikes because it's really just saying something. It's just a signal saying like, you know what I'm saying, we're going to support Nike because they're supporting somebody who sacrificed their career from us. To Nike, it's just a win-win because they're getting that money. And then you have some of the people that's burning the Nikes right now. Okay, they already paid for the Nikes, so it doesn't really matter. But they're also saying something. So if anything, we should recognize that, hey, look, they're on code about what they believe, even though it's against the grain, even though it's against humanity, even though it doesn't make sense that they would not support somebody because they're speaking up against police brutality and police murder that's not being, that's with no consequences, because it's not a disrespect to the soldiers. It's not. I know plenty of veterans who do not see what Colin Kaepernick did as disrespectful. And it's also not even a violation to the flag code. But the bottom line is that they're on code. These particular people who feel that way, that they want to burn their Nikes, they're on code. So why aren't we on code? How can we be so upset with Colin Kaepernick for signing a deal with Nike? How can you be upset with Colin Kaepernick because the kneeling isn't going to free black people, as if you thought there was actual chance that it would? This is not only a slave mentality, this is mentally retardation, to keep it real. Because we should just respect the fact that somebody with a big platform would actually risk his career and sacrifice his career just to bring light to issues, the same issues we've been trying to bring light to. Because if y'all wouldn't do that, then how can you not respect somebody who did? It's ridiculous. So you want to talk about staying on code, you want to make a difference. If you really wanted to make a difference, you know what you would do? If you really wanted to support the endeavors in the black community and black businesses, yeah, one thing, buying Nikes, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That does show a signal that you're supporting people who support us. I understand that part, but how many pairs of Nagus footwear do you guys got? How many pair of those Nagus, you know what I'm saying, Tyreek shoes, the Nagus footwear? You guys got any of those? Y'all share any of those posts? Y'all buy any of those products? Are you doing things like that? That would really actually be something that we should be doing right now. But how many of y'all are doing that? But you're upset at these players because they can't save us, because you actually think that there's going to be some Jesus prototype out there that's actually going to free our people just because they're on TV talking about an issue. None of these things are going to, quote unquote, free us. As a matter of fact, why do we need to be free? We're already free. Right now, what we should be pushing for is liberation and true independence, not some superficial bullshit. But that's the slave mentality that a lot of people are still in. Because like I said, y'all wasn't mad at Kaepernick when he was just running down the football field, dabbing in the end zone after he's throwing touchdowns. You guys wasn't mad at him for that. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about these you conscious revolutionaries who weren't mad at him when he was playing football on the plantation for massa. But then as soon as he became a field Negro, as soon as he decided to go against the grain and say, I'm going to sacrifice my career, all of a sudden, y'all are mad at him. All of a sudden, oh, that's not going to save people. All of a sudden, oh, he's not black enough because his girlfriend's not black. And look at him, he's mixed and this and that. He wasn't too mixed to play football, though. He wasn't too mixed for you guys to buy his jersey as a football player. He wasn't too mixed for that. He was black enough for that. But as soon as he goes against the grain, and as soon as he goes against massa, Just like the old fashioned slave mentality, y'all are mad at him for that. Let's cut it out. And you want to talk about NFL boycotts. Y'all want to talk about boycotts like you guys are really about a boycott. Man, I had Brother Sutek. Brother Sutek came on the show when all this boycott talk started happening. And you know what Brother Sutek said, which I agree with. And you know what other people who are actually like economists said? They said the same thing I've been saying since they said it. That you're not going to boycott the NFL by not watching football on your TV. It's not going to happen like that. That's not going to be an effective boycott. If you really were serious about boycotting the NFL, like has been stated before, then you would have boycotted the products that are advertised during the NFL because they're the sponsors. So if you really wanted to boycott the NFL, you wouldn't be drinking Budweiser. You wouldn't be going to McDonald's. You wouldn't be drinking Michelob or Coors or anything that you see advertised during a football game. You would not purchase those products. You would find alternatives. That would be an effective boycott because that would disrupt their money directly. Because you could have still watched the game. You could have went to a bar. Bars have 20 flat screens playing the game. You could have went there and watched it and turned it off at your house. That's one thing. But if you're drinking the beers that's advertised during the game while you're there, then you're still not boycotting the damn game. So let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. I mean, I do got to give a shout out to Colin because he's doing something that a lot of y'all ain't doing. He's doing something that's taking what we're doing to another level because we're on social media. We're on our Facebooks and our YouTubes and all these different platforms, Blog Talk Radio, speaking about certain things, talking about the police brutality, like what just happened in Texas. See, we're speaking about these kind of things. And we don't have the audience. We don't have the ability to get the audience that a Colin Kaepernick does. So when he does that, that's like an alley-oop because now he's bringing more attention to something. So it's about what are we going to do with it? He has sacrificed money in his career. So because of that, I have to give him props. I have to at least respect that. Because a lot of y'all ain't doing it and you ain't got nothing to lose. But y'all still ain't doing it. But you're going to criticize this brother for doing it over superficial reasons. That is going against the grain. That is not being on code. You got people who will throw away shoes that they bought with their own money just to turn their back on Nike. Even though they know that that's not really going to disrupt Nike's pockets. It's just a showing of solidarity that they're on code. But we can't even appreciate somebody. Like, what do we look like being on the same side of Fox News, be on the same side of superficial media heads who are shitting on us and shitting on our movement and shitting on, and you know what I'm saying, allowing the propaganda to continue as if black men and women and children being shot by police with no consequences, as if that's okay. You're on the same side as them because they don't like Cap either because they understand something that obviously you don't understand. They understand that if people, black people and people in general, get behind the idea that it is not okay for a public servant to murder a citizen and have to pay no consequences. They understand that if that movement grows, then people will demand better. That's what they understand. They understand that if people start really coming together about some of these things that not just federal government, but that local government is doing against the people, they understand that if this movement grows, and since we are the majority, they understand that that's going to affect their dollars. It's going to affect their way of life for the past centuries, where it was legal for a black man to be killed. It's the same way that they understand. It's the same reason why the media doesn't show when the police kill white people. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the fact that they don't really show when white people get killed by the police? And I know some of you extra way out there conspiracy nuts, you think it's because they're trying to start a race war. Obviously, you don't understand a race war has already been declared centuries ago. But the reason why they don't show white people, more white people are shot than black people by the police every year. And there's a few reasons why they don't show that. Number one, I'm pretty sure that most of the white people that shot by police were doing a crime. But it's not the case all the time, because I know of other cases personally where this has happened. But the reason why they don't show that is because to show that would make not just black people, the marginalized, be complaining, but it would make other people have to realize, hold on, Why are these public servants being allowed to kill us and get away with it? And God forbid that some of these all life matters, or some of these white people who only have something to say like, well, what about the black on black crime? And well, God forbid if they took the shit serious and they joined forces with some of these other people who are complaining about then something will get done. And that would mean that we'd have to eradicate police forces all over the country, and we would have to actually demand a change, and we would be able to get it a lot easier. So of course we're not going to show that. There's also a psychological warfare element that is within the dynamic of why they don't show it. And that's because they don't want us to get used to seeing white death, and they don't want us to become numb to it like we've become numb to our own people being killed. That's another reason. I mean, so anytime you see something that may go in your favor or an alley-oop that could actually help progress a cause that you're already involved in, you're supposed to get behind that. You're not supposed to worry about, you know what I'm saying, the complexion of the person's skin who's saying it. The same thing happened with this Jason Williams cat. Same thing happened with this Nate Parker cat. These are different little things that have happened that we should have took advantage of to our fullest capacity, because guess what? Our enemies did. So when Jason Williams said what he said on BET, and he wasn't black enough for some of y'all, or his mother's white, or he might, you know what I'm saying, marry a white woman, which he ended up doing. But who gives a damn? He said some things that needed to be said. And maybe that empowered other people or gave other people the courage to do the same damn thing. So we're supposed to run with that. We're supposed to take these, you know what I'm saying, the baton and run with it. We're not supposed to expect that some celebrity is going to come out. Listen, change don't come from the top down. It comes from the ground up. That's why we call it grassroots. So what I'm actually implying to you, or what I'm actually telling you, is that when you see a Colin Kaepernick, when you see any kind of celebrity or somebody with a big platform that is saying something on our behalf to bring attention to things that need attention brought to them, when you see these things, you're seeing them because of what we're doing on the ground. That's why it's happening. Because some of us with platforms, whether we're well known or not, that are sharing certain things, that is what's actually making some of these people come out and say something. It's not the other way around. So we should not expect that they're going to save us because they have some platform. We're not expecting Colin Kaepernick to save us. What Colin Kaepernick is actually doing, he is doing because he sees us doing it, so he knows their support. Because he's finding out about some of these things because of the smaller platforms, because it's grassroots from the ground up. So we should actually be applauding not just him and others like him. We should be applauding ourselves, because that means our message is getting through. But we're not even going to recognize that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to shit on it. So basically, what we're doing is we're trying to birth a movement, and then when we see manifestation of that birth, then we're actually mad at the birth. We're actually mad at what we've caused to happen. That's going against the grain. That's not recognizing the power that we have and manifesting and asserting our power more. Because if we understood that a lot of these things that are happening is because of what we're doing on the ground, then we would do more of it. Or we'd find ways to even to do it in a more effective way. And we could celebrate some of the progress and small victories that we had. But we cannot do that if we're jealous that this person is getting more likes and more views. Oh, Colin Kaepernick is getting more views and likes. Of course, he has a bigger platform. You're not supposed to be jealous. You're supposed to be happy. Because the only reason some of this stuff is coming out is because of what you may be doing on the ground. Or because some of the posts you may be sharing, or some of the things that you may be saying on social media. This is why this movement is happening. This is the potential that we have, but we don't have it if all we're going to do is shut down what the byproduct of what we're doing. Because the byproduct of what we're doing is other people echoing this shit. And then from there, we can have conversations on the streets a little bit more easier. That means that we can organize and mobilize more effectively. But we can't do that if we're going to shit on those who are helping to take that to the next level. And it doesn't make sense. That's a slave mentality. For some reason, our people, we're so jealous of each other that we'll actually shit on people for doing exactly what the hell we're doing. But we're just mad because they could do it more effectively. That don't make sense. How can you be mad at somebody who will sacrifice millions of dollars for their career? Who will sacrifice a job that they grew up their whole life wanting to have, and will sacrifice that. But you won't sacrifice your burger flipping job for $10 an hour. When you know there's blatant racism shit going on in your job, you won't sacrifice your shit. But you're mad at somebody who will, instead of applauding them. So the only way you can really be mad at Cap, because he's not doing anything that's going against us, the only reason you can really be mad at him is if you're jealous of him. Or if you really thought that he can save us, and then you come to the realization that, oh my God, he is not going to free us and liberate us, so he's no good now. That's a slave mentality, man. That's what I'm going to say about that. Let me see something real quick. Shout out to Adonis Ingram. Peace. Jason, what's good, man? Ogun, Sandra, Rhonda, how you doing, sis? Jermaine, that's my cousin. What's up, homie? Ricky J, everybody that's watching. You know what I'm saying? But that's just some food for thought that I want you to think about. Like I said, look, don't think that buying Nikes is somehow a revolutionary act at this point. However, we need shoes any damn way. So I guess if you're going to buy shoes, I mean, it does show some kind of sentimental camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, based on the fact that they had the guts, or at least the intelligence, the foresight to be like, yo, let's go ahead and crown this dude, because they knew that they were going to take flack for doing it. That doesn't make Nike our ally or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it may give Colin Kaepernick a little bit more juice and ability to operate or something. I don't know. I would just say buy Gus footwear personally. But I'm saying, like, you know, although it's not revolutionary, I'm not going to shit on people who now want to go out and buy Nikes, because I understand the sentiment that they're trying to express. And I'm going to respect that. So I'm not expecting this superficial shit to actually have any tangibilities. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand the value of camaraderie and fellowship and people trying to get on the same page. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just know that Nike is a corporation, and their goal is to make money and to have a good public appearance. That is their job. So just understand that. If you seriously want to support some things that actually can make a change in our community, and that's when you start buying our own products like the Gus footwear. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Colin Cap. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those who do understand what's going on and who can applaud those who actually are sacrificing on their behalf. And please, for y'all who don't understand, who can't see this, just know, if you're one of these people with a platform that's using the platform to bring awareness to certain situations that need awareness brought to it, if you're one of those people who understand that we do have to get certain information out, and that we do have to come together behind certain ideals so that we can change the realities that are not beneficial to us, like police brutality, police terrorism. If you're one of those, then just know when you see a Colin Kaepernick, that is somebody who you should congratulate, and you should also congratulate yourself, because like I said, the things that we are doing to spread this information is going to reach some of these celebrities. So some of these celebrities and some of these people with high profiles, they're seeing what we're doing, and because of that, they feel empowered to say something because they know they can reach more people. We should actually be applauding that, because we should actually take some of the credit for this happening. So now we understand some of the power that we have, and that our voices is actually being heard, because no change comes from the top down. You should never expect change to come from the top down. It always comes from the grassroots. So when you see certain people speaking out on things and they don't have to, we should applaud the fact that they got the heart to do it. And we should also applaud the fact that some of the things that we're saying and doing on the ground, on social media and our smaller platforms, is actually starting to resonate. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say. Let me see if I missed out on anything. So yeah, Colin Cap ain't our savior. Colin Cap is just a voice that is echoing what we're saying, and we should be applauding that. You know what I'm saying? Nike is also not our savior. Buy Gus footwear, buy black, if you really want to make a difference. Support liberationmindedmedia.net. Shout out to Shabaka Sankore and Shabaka's Black Experience. Black Power Radio, My Skin is My Sin, The Rundown with Renee, Doula Knowledge Radio, MBK, of course, all day, and Black Eye Stand Radio. And also shout out to Crew Thick Gospel. I'm hearing that my feed is being jammed and blocked. What else do you expect, I guess? I don't know. Because I got a good internet connection right now. So I don't see how that would be. My connection right now is flawless. But anyway, I wanted to keep this short and simple. Make sure you check out Black Power Radio today, 5 o'clock on the East Coast. Make sure you check out My Skin is My Sin. Just check out the whole LiberationMindedMedia.net lineup. You'll find something you like, guaranteed. It's J Dizzle, Nethercat. Peace.